Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today in this video we're going to be talking about your parents' first impression of your future spouse and how they will view them in general. Actually, you know what? I was going to make this video actually long time ago, maybe like months ago, but then I forgot about it. And then recently someone reminded me of that, so it was like a reading request. So in case you guys also have any topic in mind, you can drop it down in the comment section and let me know what kind of reading you want me to make. So yeah, I don't want to talk a lot. We will just do the reading. So yeah, I actually don't even have anything to talk about. So that's why I usually give my introduction so like just short. So yeah, go ahead, pick your pile, and I'll see you in your reading. Timestamps and everything, how to choose pile and everything is given in the description box. So yeah, go ahead, do it. So for pile number 1, for you we have the Knight of Wands, the Sun card, Ace of Wands, and the World card as your first impression, as your parents' first impression of your future spouse and how they would view them in general. We have the Star card, Six of Cups, Temperance, and at the back of the deck we have the Hermit card, but it's kind of the Hermit and the Ten of Cups because it kind of was together. So I took them. So I feel like your parents gonna see your future spouse as someone talkative, not talkative like in a bad way, but talkative like they know how to express themselves verbally. They like if they want something, they have this thing that they can talk about it. Like there are two kinds of people. A little group of people are introverted and a little group of people are like extroverted. So I feel like your parents gonna see this person as to be someone who is extroverted, kind of, who like who knows what they want and they are like ready to express it. I feel like your parents gonna also see this person who knows, it's not just like they see them as someone talkative, but it's also as someone who knows how to talk. Cause suppose if you sit with a person and you talk to them and you feel like, oh, they are very sorry, they are very guarded kind of, and then you feel like you just can't talk to them, cause they are very guarded. Or if you sit with a person and you just like there is like you have to think about talking to them, or I don't know, there is a little bit of discomfort, or maybe the connection, the communication is not easy flowing. I feel like your parents gonna think that they are such a good communication that they would never have such kind of a situation, because they are the kind of person, like even if you are not talking to them and you're like hesitating or something, they are gonna be the one who makes the move and be like, hey, hi, hey, how's the weather or something. Like they're the kind of person who knows how to talk, who knows how to start the communication, the kind of person like, suppose if you are a listener kind of a person and they are a talker, so you're not gonna feel bored with them because they have like things to talk about and they have this bold kind of a personality. There has this charismatic kind of personality who likes to talk, and he have or she have things to talk about. Basically, I think, I feel like your parents are also gonna think that your future spouse has a very friendly vibe to them, like they can win people over like really good, and their communication skills are like top notch. It's on point, but they're also very friendly, like they can be, if they want to, they can make you a really good friend, you or anyone. Like they have this very friendly nature, but they also have a very friendly approach to them. I don't see that your future spouse gonna look intimidating, or I don't know, like like that fuck you, don't talk to me kind of a look. I feel like your future spouse have like very kind eyes, and they're gonna look like very friendly and very like, like you can go to them and talk to them, kind of like it's open, like it's not unapproachable kind of, it's very friendly, like in a good way. I'm not saying them like over the top friendly or making fun of them or something, but it's like, it's friendly, it's approachable, it's a good talker, it's even a smooth talker. I feel like your future spouse humor is gonna be also on point. Like, sometimes people try to be funny but they just end up being, I don't know, like awkward. I feel like with your future spouse it's not gonna happen. Like it's more of a fun, light-hearted, I don't know, like communication kind of a thing. And also I feel like, when I was shuffling your cards, the cards were like coming through a lot, like a lot of cards were dropping and just coming through, and it was like, it felt like they would really just wanna come over and just talk, like they were like already ready. Like even if I was not ready, I was still shuffling the cards, but like they were like, he or she, whoever your future spouse gonna be, so they were like already ready to talk and all, and I was still here, shuffling the cards. I am honestly not that, talkative and extroverted kind of, but his or her energy felt like really extroverted and like, I'm ready, come talk to me through the cards. But I was a little bit like, okay, now let's shuffle and all. So yeah, there is this very friendly, very, let's talk kind of energy, and very like, you're gonna feel good in their company. Like your parents gonna feel good in their company. They're not gonna feel like, oh, it's awkward that we are, having this conversation of your marriage and all. So like their first impression is gonna be like, like, sahi banda hai, oh god, I don't know how to say it in English, but like, yeah, like friendly, like approachable, we can have a conversation with them, not full of ego, or not like someone, you get a little like, I don't know how would things go, or I don't know how would we would talk, or we would even vibe or not, we would even have a topic to talk about or not. I feel like your future is gonna be like, whoa, people even think about these things. I mean, I always have a topic to talk about. These kind of energy. And I also feel like they have this, because we have the sun card, they have this bright kind of, like suppose if like, suppose if you are sitting in a restaurant and you have your parents and you are there, and then your future spouse is about to come into that restaurant, okay? So like your parents doesn't know who your future spouse is. They don't know, like they have not seen their picture, or heard much about them. So in that restaurant, like everyone's coming up and all, like there would be strangers using that restaurant too, right? It's not like an exclusive thing, right? So when your future spouse enters, like your parents doesn't even know that they are your future spouse, but they turn to them because they have this such a charismatic, and they have such a presence to them. Like they are the kind of person, when they enter a room, people look at them, people turn their heads to look at them. And it's not just about the way they look, it's not just about like they look friendly or approachable or something. It's also like their their vibe, their aura. It's not just what is seen to the eyes, it's also what is not seen to the eyes. So it's like their presence, their aura, it's so charisma, it has that king like charisma to it. It has the sun in it, and I think I see sun as, like, obviously sun as someone, in tarot we see sun with this, child in it. So I do see the inner child and all, but then for some reason I'm really, brought to that sun mahadasha. In astrology there is a phase called sun mahadasha, and in sun mahadasha you feel like a king, so I'm brought back to that, that charisma of a king, the charisma of a king, like it's brilliance. The light of the sun is like so brilliant, and it has this golden kind of glow to it. It has, like, even if you don't look at the sun, you can feel the sun, it has heat, it has temperature, it has that glow, it has the bright light in it, you know so I feel like this is about your future spouse, that your parents gonna feel about them, like, okay, this this girl, this guy got something in them, like they have the charisma, so I feel like even with the way they, like just the first look of them, like they have not interacted with them, they have not talked to them, but just the first look of them, your parents are a little like, they got something, like your parents not gonna think like, oh, they're just normal person. They're gonna think like, oh, he is something or she is something, so that is was their first impression. Is we do have more cards about it. Wait. mm. I don't know, I'm kind of I'm kind of feeling a little westernness kind of energy, like European, or even if you, I don't know, wherever your country is. For example, in my country, you know, I'm picking up on Bandra energy. I'm picking up on Mumbai energy. So like in India, it's in the western part. So it's like western southern part. There is Mumbai, and I'm picking up on the Bandra girls energy. I'm picking up on the Mumbai, vibe. So I feel like whichever country you are, if you wanna know the vibe of that person, like how they are, you can look to your western, like the western, not too much about the southern, but like the western countries, sorry, the western cities or the western states, the vibe of the western cities or the western states of your country. And if you feel like your future spouse is from abroad, you can look even at the western countries, so that's the vibe of them, it's the western vibe. I don't know if I'm even able to, you know, deliver it, but that's the vibe. That's the king kind of vibe. But that's the, cause I'm hearing Bandra or Mumbai in my head again and again. So for some of you, your future spouse might be from there. So that's why. They have this look of confidence on their face, and your parents notice that they do have this look of confidence on their face. But then there is also something very, like young kind of, like there is the way they dresses up is either very casual kind of. I don't know, but there is something very, youthful or something very casual kind of, like maybe they look very confident and all things, but then, like very mature kind of like a look, but then their, dressing sense is maybe like wearing a t-shirt, like it's like I'm not seeing that your spouse gonna wear up like a formal something and come up like in a suit or a shirt or something. I feel like they're gonna be more dressed up casual, or they're gonna be more dressed up, I don't know, like modern kind of. There is a touch of modern into them. I don't think they're gonna wear something traditional or they're gonna wear something formal. They're gonna wear something modern, they're gonna wear something casual, and their face and their vibe looks very confident and charming kind of. I can explain it better in a way that, sometimes when we, go to meet our parents, or when we, especially when we go to meet our spouse parents, or like it's an in-law thing or something, we kind of put on, more decent clothes, or more, I don't know, maybe more traditional wear, and more, maybe more, I don't know, colors, because, these days usually people go for maybe black or white or something like more muted kind of colors. But when we go to meet our in-laws and all, we put on like very traditional kind of clothing, or maybe colors, and like the clothes involve color. I mean, see, the effort and all, I like it, but sometimes, it's kind of like it's the only thing, so I think for with your future spouse, I feel like it's kind of opposite. Like it's not like they're gonna, wear a swimsuit or something. No, not like that, but I do feel like they're gonna, be, like they would not shy away from dressing up bold. But it's not like bold in like they are wearing swimsuit, but like suppose if she is a female, like she would not just, go wearing, for example, a sari and then meet her in-laws, like your parents, or maybe like a traditional cloth, or I don't know, like maybe a suit or something. I don't know, maybe a dress or something which is like really long or anything like that. She would maybe naturally, she just wears like a normal top and like a normal bottom, and she would show up wearing that normal top and that normal bottom, like, not that normal, but like it's just tops and bottoms, and it's not like something traditional or something. I don't know, like it doesn't screams that, oh hey, see, I dressed up for you and I'm trying to impress you or something. The dresses doesn't it screams that. They basically show up in whatever they are comfortable wearing, so that is like a confident factor, so I'm like highly seeing this thing that they are not there, like they are not dressing up to impress or anything. They just dress up the usual way, like how they usually do basically. Similarly, if it's a guy, they're not gonna, wear either like very traditional kind of clothing, or maybe formals or suits and all. They would just show up in whatever they normally wear and they normally feel comfortable in. Your parents also gonna notice something about like taking the lead, or I don't know, like some sort of responsibility. Or obviously, like if you're just meeting someone for the first time, they obviously not gonna like see you like lead a company or something. Like they might know it, but then it's just the intro of you, it's just the trailer of them, because it's the first meeting, it's the first impression. So I feel like they also gonna like your future spouse gonna do something that's somehow gonna make your parents see that, oh, this person has this that initiative thing, that they have this I'm gonna take the lead kind of a thing into them. So maybe like I can give you a small example. Maybe that you guys are in a restaurant, and then the or the bill comes, and then they like the your spouse not even gonna say anything that, oh, the bill's on me or anything like that. They're just gonna casually just take the bill, and they're just gonna do the payment and stuff, and they will be they're not gonna be very loud about it ki, okay, like let me do it, or like I'm not saying that it's bad thing to do it, but I think for like they would be very casually leading, like it's not like in a standoffish way, or not real standoffish, what is called, it's not like in a, I don't know, show offish way, cause I mean it's not really show offish, what it is, like it's not loud, like it's not a loud gesture that, hey, I am doing it for you. It's more like casually just doing it, like if it's kind of like used to doing it, kind of like they just casually taking the lead, they just casually pilling sorry, they just casually paying the bill and stuff, so it's not like they are being loud that, oh, I am doing it, or let me do it for you. They are more like, I'm just casually doing it for you. I mean, that's my thing, I will do it. Like, that's natural to me, that kind of a thing. Or they might even talk about their, like just introduction. The parents ask about the work and all, and they might say something in between describing their work that your parents gonna think that they are natural leader or something. Like they are not the kind of person who would wait for another person to take the lead. They are the person who take the initiatives, who take the lead. So I feel like this is what your parents gonna notice in them, that they have that courage and they have that confidence in them to take the lead basically, and to just do it. Like it's natural to them. It's not like they have to like like sometimes, like me for example, I am an introverted kind of a person, so I have to I can take lead, I can do the leadership thing, but I have to like really push myself. Not like really push myself, but sometimes I have to be like, I can do this, I can do this. I have to kind of motivate myself internally, and then like maybe externally people would not know it, but then sometimes internally I would have to motivate myself that, you come on, you can do it, you can do it. I have to motivate myself internally, and then I do it, like I take the lead. But then with your future spouse, I feel like it's very natural of them to kind of just be extroverted, be talkative, and take the initiative in talking and all. I also feel like your future spouse social gathering would be something that your parents gonna notice. Like social gathering, not as in like they're gonna come up with a lot of friends or something, but I don't know, like something about them is like either they are like famous, either they are like a media person, like their career is something about that they are famous, or they are like just famous in their locality, or they like have some sort of social media account, some sort of, I don't know, influencer or celebrity or something. But there is some sort of like people coming in, like um I don't know how, but either they're gonna talk about how they own a social media, or they have like a business, or they know this much people, or they might give your parents like some sort of contacts of people just for help or something. But yeah, there is like this influence of people coming in, like they know a lot of people. Like your parents gonna also notice in the first impression that they know a lot of people. or they might even assume it. But honestly, I don't feel like your parents are assuming that they might know a lot of people because they're friendly, but I feel like your parents just know it in the first impression. Like maybe your future spouse gonna tell something, and they're gonna figure out like, oh, this person knows a lot of people. So I feel like your parents, how your parents see them is like, this person has contacts, this person knows a lot of people, this person knows a lot of, I don't know, like influential people, or like-minded people or something, but they know people, like they know people basically. How I'm saying it, they know people. They might also have like pets or something. So or even like, I'm also seeing that your future spouse might be someone who kind of mentors or something. Like they might even have a lot of younger people to that they deal with. Like maybe they are a teacher and they have a lot of students, or I don't know, they like work in a company where you take care of baby animals or something like that, like little animals. And then like you have a lot of someone, I don't know, like younger than you, or I don't know, like more fragile than you, that you take care of, that kind of a vibe. Because obviously, like suppose you are taking care of a kitten, like a lot of kitten, then that's what I'm like trying to tell. Like they kind of know how to handle with care, because they're handling a lot of creatures or people or younger people that are needed to be handled with care basically. mm. Okay, so I guess this is all that your parents gonna notice about your future spouse in the first impression. Let's now see their overall impression, like in general how they would view them. Okay, so for in general, we have the star card, the six of cups, and the temperance. So I feel like in general, your future spouse gonna be this, it's gonna be like too obvious, but then your future spouse gonna be this star kind of a personality, like this mini superstar kind of a person in the house. Like everyone knows them, everyone wants to be with them, everyone wants to be around them, everyone talks to them, doesn't matter their age. The children wants to talk to them, the old people wants to talk to them. If old sounds offensive, the elderly people wants to talk to them. You are around them, like everyone is just so like kind of around them, like they are just the shining star in the family, and like everyone is just so interested in them, so invested in them. I see this, your parents also seeing this, your future spouse in general to be the star person, but also like someone who is involved in different kind of things. Like when they are with their, for example, their someone in your family who is like younger to them, and maybe who is like a teenager and something, they might, your parents might catch your future spouse playing video games with them, and just being a kid with them. And then they might be sitting with, maybe suppose your grandmother or someone elderly in your house, and they might see your future spouse to be just this, this person who is just there, walking with your grandmother or someone elderly, and just just being there and just listening. That kind of like, they have different personalities to them basically, and they can just easily get along with anyone. So in general, your parents gonna be like, okay, this person is like the star of the show. This is also this thing that your future spouse might like to shop a lot. Like they do a lot of shopping, and not just like shopping as in like a shopaholic or something, but they like giving gifts and receiving gifts even. Like there is this influence of gifts coming in. Like whenever they come meet your parents, they bring gift, and your parents also give them gifts. And also I feel like this is the kind of person who really like exchanging gifts, who really like having parties and having celebrations or festivals, or having all those fun kind of things like gifts and all. Like this is the kind of person who would not gift you just a random, like they suppose they um uh, 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 um suppose they buy you a game, for example, like a puzzle, so they're not just gonna just give you the puzzle, they're gonna just wrap it in a colorful something and then they're gonna give you. So I think this is the kind of person who have pleasure in seeing people opening their gifts, when you just unwrap the gift and we are excited to see what's in it and all. I feel like this is the kind of person who finds pleasure in seeing people happy unwrapping their gift, and I also feel that this person is also someone who gets really happy unwrapping gift. So yeah, gift giving is definitely one of their love language. There would be more, but there is like one of their love language would be gift giving. So I feel like your parents gonna see them in general as a star person who likes giving gift and who likes receiving gift and will just chill and all. It's very good kinda, like how I said, like sahi banda hai. I feel like, yeah, that kind of like chill and all. Your parents gonna be very comfortable about you know your parents gonna be very comfortable about your future spouse, like yeah, is the right one, that kinda in general. Also with the temperance here, this is like they see you, sorry, they see your future spouse. I literally burped right now, so I'm sorry. So they see your future spouse as this very balanced kind of very harmonious kind of a person, like they are chill, this is the overall vibe, like their overall balance, their overall chill. This is balance, this is kind of giving cool somehow, this is giving cool chill. I don't know, even a little Gen Z kind of a vibe. Yeah, it's like cool, chill, Gen Z kind of. It's just cool, It's just calm. It's just chill. It's no drama. It's no fuss. It's all fun, laughter, giggles, and just chill kind of a vibe. I don't know why I'm seeing someone. I'm here is the temperance. Like those cups and the drinks, but in my vision I'm seeing someone sitting on a couch watching TV and drinking beer. That's the vibe, I think. Yeah, that's the vibe. Just and I don't encourage alcohol at all. I don't consume it. I don't encourage it, but that's what was in my vision. um I mean, people's choice, right? But whatever. Anyways, okay, so this is what I'm seeing in my vision, that someone is sitting on their couch watching television and they have a drink and drinking something. I don't know what it is, but it's like a green bottle. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I think you guys gonna have a lot of movie times together, like the family movies. Also, I mean, there is like fun time, chill time, family time, movie time, and all together. But then there is also like your your parents also gonna notice this thing in general about your future spouse, that they are very family oriented kind of a person and they're always doing something for the family, like for you and for your children. Like I don't know, like they seek something in the family, like they're seeking for something, like they're searching for something, and I feel like they are searching for that comfort in the family, or they are like, I don't know, but they have this very man of the house kind of energy, or the woman of the house kind of energy. How some women are like, so home focused, and they are like decorating the home, making sure their childrens are having good sleep, and their husbands are good all and all. And there are like also some men out there who are like always, I don't know, like making things for their children and then making sure their wife is comfortable and all. I feel like this is the vibe. Like this person, like your parents gonna see this person as someone to be home center, or someone who is like seeking something in the home. Like they wanna do something for the home, always do something for the home, or bring something to the home, do something for their wife or their husband, or I don't know, like their children, or something, like something around about the seeking something or giving something or doing something about the home thing is coming up really strongly. And I think this thing is what they would realize, like maybe I don't know, like after 1 2 years, like their initial impression and in general initial impression are like more chill and all, but then they also gonna realize that they also have this like a deeper kind of a personality to them. I'm not saying that that personality was so superficial, but I feel like it's more like they saw one part of them, but then they also see this another part of them which is very homemaking kind of, like how it's called, like making a apartment into a home kind of a vibe basically. Overall I feel like your parents really gonna like your future spouse, and they're gonna really be confident in them, I can even say that. Well, I don't know how they're gonna tell you about them, but this is how their first impression and their impression in general about your future spouses. And I guess this is all that I had for you, pile number one. Thank you so much for watching, and if you did like, please do like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye, take care. So, for those of you who chose pile number 2, for you we have the Wheel of Fortune, 8 of Cups, King of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, Judgment card, 7 of Swords, Page of Wands, and at the back of the deck we have the 4 of Swords. So, pile number 2, when I first started your reading, there was something very spiritual, that was coming through. Like, I could sense some sort of like spirituality, some sort of intensity, some sort of depth, like somehow I feel like spirituality kind of gives this depth or this intensity to people, and I felt that thing when I was shuffling cards for you. So here in this reading, it might be that either you are spiritual or your future spouse would be spiritual, or you both guys are spiritual. But there is like at least one of you is like spiritual, or maybe your whole family is spiritual. But there is something about spirituality, going through depths, going through like dark night of the soul or something like that, like something heavy, something intense, not having that, I don't know, maybe not having that happy life, or that, I don't know, that kind of peace, like I feel like that, that intensity of um, when you go through life and you just go through one thing after another, after another, after another, and it's like a hard life, but then you also somehow are also kind of beyond a lot of things because you have been through a lot of things. So I feel like there at least one of you would be spiritual, like either you, your future spouse, or your family members, or whoever, so there is some sort of spirituality which is coming up. So now in this reading we would be looking about your parents first impression of your future spouse and how they would view them in general. So for your parents first impression, we have the Wheel of Fortune, 8 of Cups, King of Pentacles, and the 7 of Cups, the front row basically. I feel like your future spouse gonna be, like they gonna have some sort of that educated kind of look to them, like of course when we first meet people, it's not just we just start talking and all. Like the first meeting is usually like just looking at them and just seeing them, and then we start, talking and all. So I feel like the first time your parents sees your future spouse, they are like, they are a well educated kind of a person. They are like, I don't know, I'm also hearing nerd, but not like nerd in a, like a bitchy way, or in a Hollywood, how Hollywood shows nerds to be. Basically, well educated, not really nerd kind of. Like in India, the parents, the parents say this thing that पढ़ने वाले बच्चों के तो शक्ल पे ही ऐसे रौनक दिखती है या ग्लो दिखती है, so which means that the the children who are like studious children have this glow of study on their face basically. So I feel like your parents gonna feel this way, that your future spouse is like well educated, they have this glow of this studious child or something, like not child, but like they give this studious kind of or and if they are not someone who maybe have like a lot of degrees or like maybe education, but then I think they have this, like a student kind of a vibe to them, like a student kind of curiosity, a learning approach basically to life. This is literally the first thing that they notice in them, that they have this, the eyes which have curiosity. Like they, your future spouse doesn't look like they are, the one kind of people who are like, oh I know it, oh you don't told me, I know it kind of, know it all kind of. They have more of this curiosity kind of, they have more of this, I want to learn more, I want to explore more. So they have this very open curiosity kind of eyes and face also. Or even it might be also that the first time maybe that you are meeting your future spouse is maybe like somewhere near their workplace or something. Like it might be that your future spouses, for example, in my vision I could see a lawyer, and I feel like, for example, they are like a busy lawyer and then they don't really have much time. So you guys gather at a cafe or wherever you are like meeting, and it's like near to their office, or I don't know where, like wherever they work basically, court or whatever. But yeah, so they come to meet your future spouse dressed maybe in their, whatever that's called, lawsuit or what. I don't know what they wear, but like their dress or their uniform in which they pursue their career basically. So for example, if they are a doctor, they might come wearing their coat and their stethoscope, and then they're gonna like just remove it and just keep it down or something like that. Or maybe if they are like a lawyer, they're gonna wear that, I don't know, that black kind of cape that they wear. And I don't know, similarly if they're like a sports person, they might show up wearing a jersey or something, like at least in the beginning, and then they maybe go and change or something. Or maybe like the first meetup would be a little like they just saw them but they didn't talk to them. So they saw them and then they go change and come and then they talk to them or something like that. So it's like, I don't know, even more scenarios coming up where is like you show them a picture of them, like you show your parents a picture of your spouse and they are in their work clothes basically. So for some of you it might be like they come up wearing like normal clothes and not work clothes, but still they have this studious kind of a learner kind of glow in their face. But for others of you it might be that they're just like shows up for the first minute or something in like work clothes basically. I feel like like when once you introduce your parents to your future spouse, somehow I don't know what kind of communication you're gonna have and all, but they're gonna like your parents gonna ask your future spouse things and they're gonna talk and communicate and all. And like your parents gonna figure out that your future spouse have left a lot in their life, like they have left maybe a lot of jobs, a lot of, I don't know, people. Like there is something like they have left something, or they have left maybe some opportunities or people or something. Like they have left something, but whatever they left, suppose it was artificial, and whatever they are now, whatever they gained now is diamond. Because it's a little like, um, maybe in the beginning of when they were starting a career, they were like not really getting jobs, and whatever they were getting were like just, I don't know, like low paying jobs or something. But now they are in a position which is like a high paying job, or I don't know, like a successful business or something. For some of you, your future spouse might be a college dropout, like they'd been in a college and they were like, like they just decided that nah, it's not working for me, they dropped the college. So it's like not so, like it's not seen as to be a very good thing to drop out of college or drop out of school. And then like then life happens to them, and then they maybe build up something even much better than a college degree holder would make. Like maybe they build this whole business empire for them, or or similar examples. We can say that maybe, I don't know, but there is something like they left something and then they became something else. That kind of a vibe, or maybe they have changed careers. I am getting different things, so I feel like it's not gonna be same for all. It's gonna be different for all. But there is this thing that okay, they left something. It was not like it was bad, but they definitely left something that has somehow served its purpose, or somehow was not aligned with your future spouse or something like that, and then they just left it and then they became something else. So I feel like your parents gonna have this impression of them that even though, you know even though they did this, but they did this, that kind of thing, that even though they left college, they made a good career eventually. Or like, even though they didn't achieved much in that phase of their life, they are now stable or something like that. This is also very, like, kind of unexpected for your parents, because it feels like your parents see this person to be stable and to be, like, very, like, a good child. And you know how it's said that good things happens to good people, but then you know like, it looks like they are a lucky person and their life has been good and all, but then when they actually start talking about their life, they realize like, oh, this person actually had a really tough life, but then they made it anyway. So I feel like your parents also gonna be kind of a little impressed by them, that how much they have kind of endured, like, there is this kind of like maturity at a young age kind of energy, like they have endured a lot through like a young age, and they had to go through certain things, but they still made it, like they still made it, like it didn't felt like they would make it, but then they still made it kind of energy. For some of you, it might be that your future spouse is orphan, and like initially they didn't had much support, or I don't know, like they didn't had a basic framework kind of, but then they eventually just made it, and they are like, maybe, I don't know, like a family to a lot of people, like maybe they run an NGO or something. I'm also seeing that rags to riches kind of a story, where like a guy is just there and doesn't have a lot of financial support or a lot of financial blessing, but then if we fast forward to maybe like 20 years to that guy's life, it's like they are literally like have this whole you know stable career going on with them. They have fame, they have money, they got social circles and stuff. So there is this energy of your future spouse being perceived by your parents to be this nothing to everything kind of. I also feel like your parents gonna think that your future spouse got dreams, like they are not just settled like, okay, rags to riches and now done. Like they still got dreams in their eyes, they still got things that they are working on and stuff, and they have that thing, that endurance, like they have endured things and now they are still dreaming, like they still want more from life, they are not just done. Like they still got dreams, they still got projects, they still got plans, and they are working on it. I feel your parents gonna be a little bit in awe of your future spouse, like how could they just just swap like that. There is this thing that they have been through hell lot of things, and then they made their own heaven. But then like they have seen the wars, they have seen the realities of life, they have seen like the unfairness, injustice of life, and still they have the guts to dream big and to dream more. Like they are not like just done, they are not just like phase 1 clear and I'm in the phase 2. They have the guts to dream big, and they have the guts to go to phase 3 and phase 4 and phase 5. So I feel like your future spouse first impression is gonna be, like a little awe to your parents, like a little, oh my god, how much this person has endured and still survived, and still have that dream in their eyes, like the world's cruelty didn't make them shatter their dreams basically, or shatter their curiosity basically. So this is like the overall how they would see them in their first impression. Let's see how they would see them in general. While too, I feel like in general your parents gonna think that your future spouse doesn't lives like an ordinary life. Like, I'm not saying that, I'm not downplaying anyone's life, but then your future spouse life feels so different to your parents, even I feel like they would even feel that life tests them a lot, like life throws them a lot of things on their way, like both the good and the bad, but then like it's insane big things that are thrown towards their way through by life, but there are also insane bad things that are thrown towards their life by life. So it's like they're, like I think in your future, in your parents eyes, your future spouse life is something which belongs to a movie or something which belongs to like a book. It's not any average person's life. It's something more dramatic, something more transformational. Like, you know anyone can write like a whole movie about their life, and they wouldn't even have to think about plot twist or think about anything dramatic or anything, because their life in itself is like very, I don't know, like movie kind of. It's not just just one thing or just one season. It's just very different season, and very intensely different. I feel like your future spouse will go through a lot of transformation in their life, but I feel like they have the guts and the endurance to go through it all. And I think your parents gonna notice this thing, that how much strength they have in themselves, how much they can endure things, and how much life keeps testing them, but then also how much life keeps throwing good opportunities towards them too. So I feel like it's a little, like in your parents' head, their life is a little like someone who goes through a lot, but also someone who gets a lot. And to get a lot, they also have to go through a lot. And there is this emphasis on, it's not a ordinary life, it's not a easy life. It's like life life is giving them events after events, and even events after events, and they are kind of just attending all the events kind of. And I see this vision of this person going to a gym, and this is how like your parents view your future spouse in general. Like, this gym is their life, and future spouse is like goes to that gym, and in that moment they might be thinking that, oh, it's too much work, and oh my god, this is kind of exhausting and all. But then eventually it kind of, it is, the gym is making them healthy, the gym is giving them more strength, the gym is giving them more endurance, and they are like, I don't know, like way ahead of a lot of people who are just like not doesn't does much physical activity, or doesn't does much, I don't know, strength training or whatever. But then they think that, oh, this is like a, I have to do it, but then like it eventually is for their own benefit. But then also it's like when we are gymming or anything, it's not just that we feel that, oh, it's kind of hard, or oh, I have to do it, but it's also like over time you kind of start enjoying the gym. You kind of start enjoying the challenges, and you kind of start enjoying like, oh, this is a different kind of workout I'm gonna try today, or oh, this is kind of challenging, but I like challenging, oh, I was tired but I kind of like that, that kind of a thing. So I feel like your future spouse would be like really, really fascinating to your parents, like how much they have strength and endurance, but then their life is also gonna be really interesting and very enduring to your future spouse. Sorry, your parents. I feel like there would be a lot of times in your future spouse life that they're gonna take risk, and I feel like your parents gonna notice that how much of a risk taker they are and how much risk they take. I am seeing, like there is this pole, like there are two poles, and a rope is binded on those two poles, and someone is walking on that rope. And while, like there are like lemons and things are thrown at this person to kind of catch, and this person kind of have two hands, but then they kind of manage to catch all the lemons that are thrown to them, and they are kind of keeping everything in their, you know bag. And when they go to the other side, they have this whole, lemon thing with them, with like different kind of lemon. But they can, use all those lemon to make lemonade, or I don't know, like sell the lemons or something. But then I am seeing this thing that, like they are not dropping lemons, they are just catching and keeping it, catching and keeping it, and then they endure it through the journey, and then they kind of utilize it to make something good out of it. I think if your parents also gonna see your future spouse to be someone very passionate, kind of in general, like doesn't matter, what's going on in their life, in their career and what, but they, like see you, like their your parents see your future spouse, that your future spouse kind of, like really adore you, and kind of, I don't know, like this shining star, kind of like you are like, I don't know how do I explain it, but it's like while life is giving, is being a teacher to them, a coach to them, and they are, kind of teaching them discipline and to be a certain way and giving them strength and endurance. I feel like your future spouse have this very loving, kind of a side to them, and I feel like your parents see that loving, kind face only when you guys are together, like with you basically. So I feel like your parents gonna in general see them to be very strict, disciplined kind of a person, but with you they have this very loving, very different side to them, which only comes with you. I am hearing a warrior in love, kind of. And it doesn't have to do with gender, like like they don't only have to be a man to be, being this strength and, yeah, yada yada kinda, like a female is also does also have a lot of strength, and they also go through a hell lot of things in their life. So, and men do also. So it is not like a gender based thing. Like when I said it's a warrior thing, like your parents see your future spouse to be this warrior in love, it didn't mean that I only refer to one gender. Like warrior could be male or female. It doesn't have to be one gender. I feel like in general your parents gonna see this, your future spouse to be this, warrior kind of a person, but then they also see this person that they know when to rest, that they know when to kind of keep their swords and, just take a nap and just be happy and whatever. But like overall, it's a very stable, structured, strict, disciplined kind of a person. But this person is not a kind of person who burns out or something. Like this is a person who knows when to rest, this is a person who knows when to talk to family, this is a person who is connected to the family, even though, you know they might be like a rising superstar or something, and they might be busy with a lot of things, they still somehow keep some time away for their family time, for their family life. Like they still have, time with them. So they are like really good with these two sides. So I honestly feel like there would be some people whose future was gonna be somehow famous, I don't know to which scale, but somehow famous, and their, like their career personality or their famous personality and their real personality is gonna be different. Like, you're gonna, especially for you, you're gonna notice that how soft kind of a person they are with you, but then how hard steel kind of person they are with the world, kind of. So yeah, in general, I feel like your parents gonna be kind of impressed by your future spouse endurance, and they're gonna be like really like in awe of them, like how could someone be like this. So yeah, file number 2, this is all that I had for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye, take care.